When you see a command in scripture, particularly the one in Ephesians chapter 5, that husbands should love their wives as Christ loves the church, and that the wives should submit to their husbands as the church submits to the Lord. That is not something that you can learn in a relationship class. You were not designed on your own keep the commandments of God without divine assistance. Now, the Bible doesn't say to the man to love his wife. It says to love his wife as Christ loved the church. And he tells us how Christ loves the church. It would have been easier if that scripture had said to love your wife as she understands to be loved. Then the question of love language will now come in. Okay, so what are the things that my wife believes that if I do, I love her? That is easier to keep than this instruction. To love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. That means he died for the church. He purchased it with his blood. As a husband, you are supposed to be ready, if need be, die for your wife. You should be ready to love your wife as Christ loved the church. Be willing to die for her. Now, it is not possible. The ability is not domiciled in you. Even in the matter of submission, when he says to the wives to submit to their husbands as the church is submissive to the Christ, it looks easy when it is being said, but it is not. The meaning of that is that the same way that Christ is the one that dictates what the church is to look like, and the church does not have the privilege of deciding for Christ that this is how we want to be. Jesus is intending to sanctify the church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing. That is his intention. And it is in the same manner that wives are commanded to submit to their husbands. I'm telling you, it is not possible. You cannot do it of your own accord. There is no book that you can read that can give you the ability to do that thing. In the same way, somebody can know that the wife is supposed to submit to her husband. Knowing it does not translate to submitting to your husband. It's not the same thing. The same way a man can know that the husband is supposed to love the wife. Now, what I'm saying is that if it is God that commanded it, know that you do not have the ability to do it of your own accord. God has to assist you. The Spirit of God has to be involved in that thing. If not, you will find out that everywhere you will try to pass will amount in a colossal failure. It will be as if nothing good comes out of you when you try to do the will of God without his assistance. That's how it works.